What's up, guys? It's Joe, and welcome back to episode 5, week 2 of our push to rank 500 in the Ubers tier. In the last episode, we got our rank up to 1468. We had kind of a bumpy road in the last episode. We are all like 16 points away from being top 500 on the ladder. Actually, we're gonna have to get 17 because the guy's name begins with a B and we begin with a G, so he will come before us. But hopefully we'll get there in today's episode, because that'd be mighty cool if we do end up doing so. I'm still using the same Deoxys team. We may just wrap Ubers up tomorrow, which is Saturday, with a bonus episode, because like I don't want to dedicate like a whole new week to Ubers and find/build a new team to use. But I just looked back at my screen and got a match. Super threatening team. Probably lead Deoxys-A, Mega Scissor, or just Banzor with Scarf Mewtwo, or just Banzor with Mega Mewtwo, Scarf Kyogre, and then Yveltal and Arceus do all sorts of stupid things. So I'm going to lead with Scissor here, because I'm anticipating the Deoxys lead. He ends up leading with his own Scissor. So I'm going to reveal the Mega right here, because I don't have any other Mega options on my team, and I'm going to U-turn straight away. We'll see what he went for. He probably went for like a superpower or something. So I'm going to go into my own Lando to take whatever he goes for. It might be a U-turn, yeah. So he was just a slower U-turn, essentially. So that's fine. Probably going into Scarfed Ogre here. I have yet to see if this is a Scarfed Ogre or a regular Kyogre. I'm anticipating the Water move, so I'm going... Or if it's Sub-Calm Mind, my bad. He ends up going for Water Path. So this looks like Scarfed Ogre. It looks and smells like a Scarfed Ogre. I'm going to go for the Willow here. And basically, Scarfed Ogre basically makes me sack something and switch into it, because Scarfed Ogre is just very, very lethal and very deadly, and I don't like it very much. I may kind of alter our team that we used in the first week if we have a bonus episode tomorrow, so we keep it kind of fresh. I would add Scarf Kyogre for Rotom, because that would just be lethal. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer here. I forgot to do that at the beginning of the match. I also forgot to say good luck, have fun. But if you ever watch this, Ski Dog, which I'd actually do. But good luck, have fun, man. So we'll see what he ends up going for here. He's probably debating what to go into, or if I have like Grass Knot or something of the sort. That would actually be a good lure to run on this thing, because if you can switch in on Scarf Kyogre and Grass Knot to do a lot of damage. Hopefully he switches out into his Arceus. Is this me or nah? Alright, hopefully he switches out into his Arceus and is not Gracias for once. So hopefully he switches out into his Arceus so I can Willow, because that'll help if it is E-Killer. He has Arceus Electric, so he's probably Calm Mind Arceus Electric, which is the biggest pain in debut ever. I think my switch here is Scissor. We'll see what moves this thing has. I think it's a little counterproductive to run HP Fire in the rain, so I'm just gonna go for a Bullet Punch here, because oh wow, I forgot he resists that. I'm dumb. I think he's just gonna go for a Judgment again or an E-Speed, so I'm gonna go out into my Lando and force a switch, and U-turn on that switch. We'll see what he goes for here. Hopefully he doesn't like pull out the HP Ice right now. He ends up recovering, which is annoying. But I don't think he's gonna want to lose this. Wow. Okay, I got played. What do we have against this thing? He probably has Recovered, Defog, 2 attacks, or Calm Mind 2 attacks. So I suppose Deoxys attack is a decent switch. However, I'm actually going to go into Zekrom here, and I'm going to Outrage something. Yeah, I'm going to Outrage something, because Scissor doesn't appreciate switching in. Because Scissor can't touch Zekrom whatsoever. even with like a banded bullet punch, it still doesn't do that much damage, and I only do 50% to Arceus Electric, which is a bit disappointing, but I'm going to be able to knock Arceus Electric out with the Outrage, so that's cool. Knock it out with the Outrage. Unfortunately, I get the 2-turn and not the 3-turn, because this gives him a good switch and a Scarf Kyogre. And he can just Water Spout, and Scarf Kyogre is so just incredibly broken. Well, it's not broken, but it's very, very good. It's one of the best things in Ubers. It definitely sits next. It sits at the same table, I would argue, as Geozern and that cool stuff. So the way he brings his Deoxys in, it's either support or it is Life Orb for attacks. I'm gonna go into Arceus Water because I can defog away screens. Yeah, he ends up setting up a rock, so I'm just gonna defog because defogging gets rid of those rocks. And if he wants to set up any screens, then those screens are gone as well. Kind of anticipating a switch in, well, like, even if he switches here, I can't really do a whole lot about it because he has a lot of different options here. He could potentially go into the Yveltal and, like, go for Oblivion Wing, maybe. He could also go into Scarfed Ogre, because I can't really touch Scarfed Ogre, and I have lost my ground type, which just A+ thinking right there for me. Geo, good job. We will see what he does though. Kind of looking at how my team is formatted. There's no way he's getting rid of Banzor. So a sweep with Xerneas isn't really going to be possible because I'm only going to be, wow, he defogged, or he taunted me. He's going to set up a spike here, as I'm going to be able to 2-hit KO him with Judgment, which limits the amount of hazards he gets up. But at this point, it's probably all over. He has enough hazards up that I don't think I'm going to be able to defog safely. I'll probably just end up sacking Scissor here as he goes out into Kyogre. So yeah, Scissor's looking like a pretty good sack right here, because it's not going to live after hazards anyway. It's not going to be super handy for anything I have left. And that's kind of the deal with Mega Scissor. Either it's extremely helpful or not at all. He ends up going for a Thunder. So I know he's going to lock himself in on Thunder. So that's good to know. However, I think I'm just going to go into my Zekrom here and go for the Bolt Strike, because Bolt Strike is probably my safer play. Even if he wants to go into Yveltal, it's going to get smashed. Mewtwo, he's probably just sacking Mewtwo at this point, if we're being honest. Because he probably has Sucker Punch on Yveltal, meaning that he can take my Zekrom out, and I'm not going to be able to do a ton of damage. But essentially, my game plan to win right here is I need him to go out into Scissor after I knock out the Mewtwo, or the... basically, after I knock something out, or he pulls a switch into Scissor here. That's going to be great for me. Okay, so I need him to go into Scissor here and not Yveltal. If he goes into Yveltal, I think I lose, because I don't have a whole lot to touch Yveltal. Everything gets Sucker Punched. Yeah, so he just goes into Yveltal because he's not dumb. I'm going to go into Arceus Water, though. And I wish like water types got a buff in the rain. He ends up going for Sucker Punch, which is fine. I'm gonna recover, so if by some miracle I outspeed, I can safely recover and whatnot and do all that great stuff. But now his Thunder is not 100% accurate. I think I can go ahead and sack Deoxys attack here. It's not gonna be too horribly useful. So he just ends up going for Thunder, which means I got a chance at right here. Dang it, I messed up by switching Arceus Water out. Alright, I got a chance that he misses his Thunder. If he hits his Thunder, it's game. If he misses, yeah, he hit his Thunder, it's game. So I'm going to go on into Xerneas here, although none of this really matters. I'm just going to Geomancy, hope he misses a Thunder. That's really the only... Actually, I'm going to HP Fire, predicting Scissor. Just because, like... Scissor's probably his best switch right here. So actually no, he just thunders. He outspeeds, and he's Scarfed Ogre. Should have remembered that. Good job. I'm just gonna go in and sack that round. Gosh dang it, I hate losing. I'm gonna go for Moonblast. I'm gonna go for Moonblast here. Hopefully he misses the Thunder. He hasn't missed the Thunder yet. I haven't really been getting lucky with hacks. I'm recording this right after I recorded the other one, episode 4. So, yeah, he ends up missing a Thunder there. So I'm just gonna Moonblast. And Geomancy would have probably been the smarter play, but it really doesn't matter. That's a good game. That brings us down to 1447. So that's a bit disappointing. However, we still do have like 20 minutes to make it up, so we could potentially end the series off today. We'll see what Showdown pairs us up with, though. Hopefully, it pairs us up with a bad play or with a great player who's having a really bad day and just forfeits when he's like, "Oh no, I should use her," and he just forfeits and gives us tons of points. Because honestly, I need free points right now. That's the thing I am looking for. To move my mic away from my face so I can take a sip of Dr. Pepper. Because Dr. Pepper is awesome. Dr. Pepper, #1 soda 2016. Although we will see. Okay, come on, Showdown, come on, you can do it. Come on, Showdown. Lag. Okay, there we go. So he has a Kyurem White, which you rarely see. He also has a Drifblim. Drifblim's gonna be double team. As unfortunate as it is, I'm gonna lead Deoxys attack though. Because if he leads with Drifblim, oh, he leads with Rayquaza. So is this Scarf Quaza? I'm gonna go for a Psycho Boost. Yeah, or Sash Quaza, that's what I meant. Yeah, he just ends up taking me out, so that's just great. And I have a couple of options here. I can go into Zekrom, Revenge, with Bolt Strike, as he will probably go into Kyurem White. And I would have to probably go into Arceus Water there, which isn't a big deal. Or I can go into Xerneas and Moonblast, which would really put some offensive pressure on him, although looking at his team is probably Arceus Steel. Because he doesn't have another good Geozern check. So I'm going to go into Zekrom. Just because Xerneas will be helpful late game. He ends up going into Kyurem White, which I kind of expected. So I'm just going to go into Arceus Water here and see what this guy's going to do. Ends up going for the Fusion Flare. Not a big deal, though. He has Life Orb, so it's worth seeing what the rest of his set is. I'm going to Willow, just in case you try to pull an Outrage or something. You end up Dracoing. Now you really can't do anything to me. And I could potentially just go into Xerneas. That's what I'm going to do. Or do I recover? I'm actually going to recover and try to save this thing for later. It pulls out the Earth Power. He gets the Spadef drop, but now he has 2 Pokemon that are severely weakened. Ends up going for the Ice Beam. So I'm able to take that thing out, so that's good. He goes into Drifblim, the Cloud Hat Man. Looking at this thing, my best bet is probably Zekrom. He's gonna go for the double teams because double team or minimize, because minimize is completely fair. Don't you just love minimize? This is the only thing I can't stand about Ubers. Yeah, hit one. Ha! Get out of here, Blaziken. There we go. I'm gonna hit this Bolt Strike too. Bye-bye, Drifblim. Ha! Alright, anybody who uses Minimize, I will be extremely hostile to for the rest of the match. Do not expect to walk away feeling very happy if you come in and try to minimize all over me, because I'm not taking it, okay? I'm going to save Scarf Zekrom, because Scarf Zekrom can be potentially useful for later. Lando T, however, will probably not be, because Lando T, I know, dies to a +1 E-Speed. So I'm just going to go out into Lando T right now and sack. He ends up going for the Geomancy, which isn't that big of a deal. So it looks like this guy's just running like a variant of Baton Pass. He ends up Moonblasting, which will easily take me out. However, I have the Steel Bug, And I may have actually dug myself a really bad hole here by not attacking Xerneas. However, we're going to see how much a Bullet Punch truly does. That is nothing. That did nothing. I lost. Ugh. Actually, no. Actually, yeah, I lost. We're just going to go for the Bull Strike because it doesn't really matter. Alright, this guy's trying to argue that, nah, he's trying to get super hostile. Alright. Okay, so, I'm just gonna go into Xerneas here, and I'm going to Geomancy. I know he's probably not max speed, so that's a good game, but I'm not gonna say good game. Because anybody who uses Minimize, frankly, you know, I don't really care. So, facing Draco Master Pain, has Ho-Oh, has Arceus, has Geozern, has Mega Mom, Groudon. I'm kind of anticipating a lead Groudon, so I'm actually going to lead with Arceus Water. He ends up leading with Arceus Water. Hello, twin! I'm just going to Willow, as he's kind of expecting him to Willow, too. He just ends up going out in Ho-Oh, which is a good switch. But I'm going to Judgment, because a Judgment will do a lot to Ho-Oh. It does about 58%. He ends up going for the Sacred Fire, doesn't get the burn, which is a bit unfortunate for him. But I don't think he's going to want to leave his Ho-Oh in and sack it, so I'm going to Willow here. Kind of anticipating he ends up going back out into Arceus Water. That's fine by me. So, we will see. Okay, he ends up going for the Willow. I almost hit the off button on my computer. That would have been dumb. That would have been like the second or third time I've done that. I'm just going to go for the Recover again. Although, I don't think he's going to want to stay in here, frankly. So, I'm actually just going to go for the Willow. Actually, no, Showdown says I went for the Recover, so that's cool. Looking at this matchup, it's not really great for either of us. I may just go out into Zekrom, because Zekrom's a fairly safe switch. It resists his, okay, never mind. I'm actually going to go for the... I'm actually going to make a hard switch out here into my Deoxys attack, because I don't think he's staying in. He's going out into Groudon, so that's cool. Now, he either A, stays in and takes a Psycho Boost, or B, gets hit. His Yveltal gets hit by a superpower. He stays in, meaning I lose the Deoxys attack. So that is just fine and dandy. I'm just going to go on a Lando here and get up some rocks, which means that Ho-Oh's done on the switch in. It forces him to defog at some point in the match. He ends up going into Arceus Water. We're in the sun, so Judgment isn't going to be doing as much. So oh wow, he just Willows. I'm a complete idiot. I'm playing terribly. We are gonna need another match tomorrow, because I'm just playing so bad. Okay, predicting Water Stab and or Defog, going into Groudon. He ends up just going for the Recover. I'm gonna drop a Draco real quick because that does pitiful damage, and he ends up defogging. So I suppose there could have been worse things going on there. I'm just playing so terribly right now. This is kind of disgraceful. But I'm gonna go into Xerneas here as he doubles out into his Ho-Oh. I suppose I could Geomancy. But he still has too much priority left. I'm going to go for T-Bolt, which will pick up the 2-hit KO. And Sacred Fire does a lot to me. I want to go for the Moonblast here, predicting Arceus. Because he's not going to want to lose Ho-Oh, is he? He's going to want to go into something that is immune to T-Bolt, namely Groudon. He's going out to Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan takes a lot of damage. So I'm going to go into my Lando here, because Lando was great, especially checking Mega Mom. He ends up going for the Fake Out, gets a crit. Right as I'm talking you up, Lando. Hopefully you go for a Sucker Punch. or you're just not running max speed, you end up going for the frustration though. Well, isn't that frustrating? I'm gonna go for the bullet punch here. He ends up just going out into his Groudon, which frankly I probably should have seen coming, but looks like Arceus Water is the prime contender for me to go out into here, because Zekrom can't really touch it. He ends up going for the T-Wave, so that's good. I'm gonna Willow, I think. I'm gonna Willow. Hopefully he just gives me a gift and goes out into Mega Mom, but he goes out into Ho-Oh. At this point I've kind of already lost the match. Because Sun Boosted, he actually goes for the Brave Bird here, which actually helps me a lot. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go into Xerneas here and Moonblast, because Moonblast I think takes Ho-Oh out from here. Just like 18% if I remember correctly. And we'll still hit Arceus Water pretty hard. Arceus Water ends up going down. Although he's probably just going to go out into Mega Mom and fake out. So I'm going to go out into Zekrom to sponge the fake out, because I don't really have anything else to sponge it. Just kind of a disappointment. And I'm going to Outrage. He ends up going out into Xerneas, so I get just perfectly trapped into that. So A+ move on my part. I'm going into Scissor though. He ends up Geomancing. Hopefully he's like the fast variant of Xerneas, not the bulky one. If he's the bulky one, then I immediately lose. He still ends up winning. That's a good game. We're gonna end the recording off there for the sake of my ranking. Gonna go for the Moonblast here. Dang it, I'm just not playing very well. I'm gonna Outrage for the lulz. But that drops my rating down to 1406, meaning that we're gonna have a bonus episode. So, if you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like. It really does help show support for the series and the stuff that I'm doing here on the channel. Also, make sure to answer today's comment question of the video, which is Xerneas or Yveltal. Personally, I like Xerneas better just because of using an Ubers, but, you know. With that, I urge you guys to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. With that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.